Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 12th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I will set up this room real quick, and then we can get started with our session for this morning. So it shouldn't take too long. It's a couple of things here to update. Looks good. A few more things right here. Solid. All right. One last thing. And we should be good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right. This looks good. All right. So as people join the room, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up the high lows here on the higher time frame. So I'll start on the 1 hour, clean this up a little bit. Start by marking up the high lows right here. One more right there. Let's see. Let's go down to the 30-minute. $15-minute. $10-minute. Uh, 5-minute. And 1 minute. All right, so I've marked up the liquidity here from the 1 minute to the 1 hour. As you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity on both sides. There's more on the bottom though. Price has been pushing up since, let's clean this up right here. Price has been pushing up since about mid-London session, about 4 o'clock. It's been pushing up. I think price will be coming back down. I think this is just a temporary push up, like, you know, what happened yesterday, obviously. We do have CPI news coming up on Wednesday, which is consumer price index, basically inflation news with regard to the recession. So I think price will just keep getting propped up a little bit and it'll just make its way back down. So just something to look out for as we continue on with our analysis for this morning. So let's see who's here. Morning, Peter. Morning, Surin. Morning, Rashida. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. Looks like half you guys are here in the room right now at 6:24. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, July 12th. Let me check the news to see if anything came up earlier this morning. I don't think so. So there was news at 2:59. It was an NFIB small business index. So I'll just mark that up on the chart just because I don't think it's going to be very important, but we'll just mark that up anyways. News price is irrelevant, no matter how irrelevant it sounds. So I think it was at 2:59. It's a weird time. Yeah, 2:59. So I'll just mark that up. And then if price ever comes back to it, we'll have a marker there just to have an idea. So yeah, news price down there. And then we have IBD TIPP economic optimism, which is tentative. And then we have the 10-year bond auction at 10 o'clock. So there's not very much news today. The news is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. we have, or 5:30 a.m. we have CPI, core CPI. Then at 7:30 we have crude oil inventories. 10 o'clock we have the 30-year bond auction. And then at 11 we have the beige book, federal budget balance, etc. So a lot of inflation news tomorrow, but today not so much. So market is going to open in about 4 minutes. Price is still pushing up. Just hit this area of liquidity right here, which is fine. We typically want price to be propped up a bit like this, so that when the market does open, there's a lot of space for price to come back down. So I'll leave it alone for a little bit and see where it goes from there. As price continues to push up, I will mark up more areas of liquidity once we get higher. But going back to the 10-minute chart, you guys can see there's a lot of liquidity on both sides. There's a lot of liquidity sitting here on the higher end, but there's also liquidity here on the bottom end as well. So as we get closer to the sessions right here, we'll see if price bounces off them. But as of now, we're just going to wait until the market actually opens. So I don't think this is any type of reversal. If you go in the higher time frames, you'll see that price is still bearish. It's very bearish. It's just on the shorter time frames, it looks like price is coming up, but realistically, you look here on the 1 hour, price is not going anywhere. It's barely making its way down. So this is the 1 hour time frame. You guys can see how bearish it is. On the 1 minute, you can just see it looks like it's pushing up, but not really. So just keep that in mind, guys. You always want to keep in mind the overall movement. Short term is going to trick you sometimes. So you just want to make sure that you understand where the overall movement is going. All right, let's see who else is here. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Matt. Morning, Randy. Morning, Marco. Morning, David. Morning, everybody. All right, looks like majority of you guys are in here. So I've marked up the high lows. We have liquidity marked up here. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. I'll put up the breakout entry right here. Let's take a look at the overall bias real quick before we determine our direction. So looking over here at the overall bias, let's see, the retail sentiment is currently 56% long. It's not as long as we want it to be. We want it typically to be 60 to 65% or more in one direction or the other. It is 56% long, so it's a light bias for a sell right now with regard to retail. Looking over at the fundamentals are currently down 145 points. So we'll see when this opens. So this is what I'm trying to show you guys right here. Like, this is just a temporary push to the upside, right? Price overall is still very bearish. It's just a temporary push. When the market does open, this will refresh, and we'll see where price is actually going in the next 2 minutes. So if this remains red, this remains, where it is, or if it increases here, then our overall bias will still be a sell. So I do expect price to obviously make its way down at some point. And you can see right here, it's kind of reached its top right here, and it's starting to make its way back down. So we'll see what happens when it opens. I actually want it to be manipulated. So I want price to actually go up higher so that we can catch this as it rides its way back down. Because I prefer the manipulation to happen first so that we understand where the correction is going. Because the correction is going to be downwards, obviously. I'm going to update this, make sure these things here are updating. Okay, I'm hoping the data isn't all messed up like it was yesterday, because yesterday was kind of a mess. All right, market is going to open in about 15 seconds, guys. Hey, Jonathan, morning. Morning, Eduardo. Morning, everybody. All right, so market is opening in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So let's see where price pushes. We currently have a bullish momentum right here. So if we get a strong green candle, this would technically be the breakout. However, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that the sessions is right here. So this is going to be a huge red flag to be entering the breakout. So if it closes above here with a strong green candle, this will technically be considered the breakout. However, there's another sessions right above here. So you want to be very careful about taking the breakout here for a buy. We have about 30 seconds left on this candle. If it does close, I will mark it up, but I'll probably not be taking it. obvious reason. It's right at the sessions. You can see where it's rejecting from. It might not even close as a strong green candle. Or if it does, I'll mark it up. One thing that you want to be very careful for, another red flag, is that this candle is huge. So just be, anticipate a retracement. So if you do want to enter it, I probably wouldn't enter it right away. I'd probably give it a few seconds to pull back and then maybe at some point make the entry. So here we go with the candle. It's closed. This is the breakout right here. I'm not in the position. I'm still waiting for it to possibly pull back because this candle here is just way too big. If you measure this candle right here, this candle is pushed up 800, about 900 pips. So it's a huge push. I'm expecting some sort of retracement. If it doesn't have a retracement, that's fine, but I'm not looking to take anything too risky right here. This is technically the breakout if you guys are in it. If you guys are currently in it in profit, I would recommend moving your stop loss in profit or pulling out when you're satisfied with your profit. But man, this thing is pushing up pretty heavy. It's been such a crazy market the past couple of days. Yesterday, I did the same thing. It's a bit of a tricky entry point right here because if you try to enter late, price might just come swinging right back down, or it can just keep pushing back up and hit its full TP. But I'm not looking to take anything too risky. So here's a retracement that we were looking for. It retraced back a little bit. Here he goes, price pushes back up higher, now pulls back down. It's a tricky market right now. So if you guys are in it, I do recommend taking profit when necessary. It's not really one that I'd want to be stressing about because it's pushing up pretty crazy. Well, it's pushing up and it's pushing down. You can see this huge wick right here on the previous candle. This is really a gamble if you guys are going to take a trade like this because it's way overextended. It's been overextended since 4 o'clock. So if you measure the push from down here up until here without really much pullback, it's currently been pushing about 2,700 pips. So I'll follow it, but I don't think I'm going to FOMO into this trade right now. I'm going to wait for it to make its way back down. I'm going to take a look at the fundamentals right now. Fundamentals are currently down 35 points. They're not very strong, but they are still red. Looking over here at the sentiment. Sentiment is currently around the same amount, 56%. News right here, breaking news from CNBC, Dow falls, Wall Street weighs. So typically when this happens, market does the opposite. CNBC just announced that the Dow falls as Wall Street weighs growth concerns, and then price does the opposite and pushes right up. So if you guys are in the position, I do recommend moving your stop loss in profit. But if you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. It's just up to your own risk. I'm not in the position, so I'm going to hold off for a bit because I'm going to be looking for it to come right back down. Yeah, Jonathan said even taking partial seems risky. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just a tricky market right now. I see this as a manipulated push to the upside, guys. I do expect it to come back down. And that's why I'm not looking to take any buys right here because the bias right now is telling me to take a sell. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're still somewhat red. They're not very red, but they are still somewhat red. And looking over here at the sentiment, although it's not strong, it's still 55% long. So we'll see where this goes. But I am expecting it to make its way down. Let me mark up opening price, which was this candle right here. So this is going to be my target level. We'll keep following this, but just FYI, reminder, I'm not in this position, guys. So if you are in the position, hopefully you moved your stop loss in profit, as I mentioned earlier, or you pulled out in profit when you're satisfied around this area up here, because the market's super tricky right now. I don't expect it to hold for very long. It might continue pushing up slightly, but I think this is a temporary push to the upside. My target area for price to correct is going to be down here. This blue line. Yeah, Maddie said I can see it push a bit more and create a higher high. Yeah, I can see that too. Looks like price is in a range right here. So it created a small range before it looks like it's going to swing back down. So it's currently ranging right here. But eventually I do expect it to come back down. not going to FOMO into it. I'm getting like a little bit of FOMO here. I wanted to take the last 100 pips, but no, I'm not going to. It's just way too overextended. So there we go, the full TP off the breakout. If you guys held on to it, great. If not, it's all right. I'm going to be waiting for it to make its way back down like it did yesterday. So full TP for the breakout if you guys caught it. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count towards our results. The only trades that count towards the results are the ones that I actually take here on the live. So as you guys can see, the strategy still work fine. It just depends on your risk appetite. For me, this is just too risky for me to take, so I didn't take it myself. And you guys got to understand, there's always risk with trading, right? It's never going to be 100%. So you got to go with your gut sometimes. All right, so I'll clean this up right here. I think price is going to come up and maybe knock out. Oops, what did I do? Price is probably going to come up and hit the Asia high right here. There's still some more sessions above here, guys. Price has been dropping pretty much since yesterday, London. I mean, basically since open. Since market open right here, price has been dropping. So this is a huge, like you guys can see this candle here. This is a 10-minute candle. See how far it's pushed up? This is not a normal candle. It shouldn't be pushing up like this. It's pushed up almost 2,000 pips. So here he goes. Price comes and rejects off the Asia high right here. Let's see if it's making its way back down or if it continues to push up higher. So this is the Asia high right here. It's purple line. I'm gonna clean this up over here. It's not such a mess around this area. Mark up this right here. Oops. So I'm using the wrong tool. All right, so we have a lot of liquidity here building up. Price broke past the Asia high right here. Next level is going to be the London high right here. Man, is something going on in the world right now? What's causing this huge push? Let me check the news real quick. Looks like there's COVID news going on right now, live. So this is going on live right now. White House COVID-19 response team. So some COVID news right here. I'm not sure what they're discussing, but it is live at the moment. Other than that, market is just pretty much doing opposite of CNBC. So if you guys have been following me for a while, typically when CNBC reports something, opposite usually happens. So right here it says Dow falls as Wall Street weighs growth concerns. They said Dow's falling. You look at the Dow chart, it's actually pushing up. This is why typically I don't follow the news. Usually the news is reported late. So as soon as they reported this 3 minutes ago, price did the opposite and went all the way up. So I see this as a manipulated push. Basically, a lot of people follow the news. So right here, I'm sure a lot of people saw this news and they saw, oh, Dow's falling. So what happened? Like a lot of people try to sell US30, right? As soon as they sell US30, they push price up to stop everybody out. So I think this is a manipulated push to the upside. I think eventually it'll make its way back down. It's just a typical manipulation in market. Because, you know, right, it wouldn't make sense for them to report that it's down and then it goes straight up. Let's check the heat map real quick and see where everything is. Everything's actually still red. So you look at the heat map here, everything's actually still pretty red. So it doesn't really make sense for it to push up all crazy like that. If it was all green here, then yeah, it would make sense for it to push up like that. But I think overall it's still, yeah, it's still red for the most part. So I don't know, there's just no real logical reason why it should be pushing up like that very much. I mean, the fundamentals are slightly up. They're not that heavy, right? They're 100 points, but they're not consistently above there. It just keeps dropping back lower. There is COVID news going on right now. Other than that, I don't think there's any other news here. I don't know if earnings were released today. I don't think so. Here, let me check earnings real quick. I don't know if anyone has their earnings. Let's Earnings whispers. Let's see. I don't think there was anything today, right? Check calendar. Or actually, no. Yeah, I don't know if anyone has that calendar. I forgot where to find it. Calendar. So earnings for today, PepsiCo, but none of these are in US30. So PepsiCo and ANGO. Man, how many commercials are on here? I was trying to see the COVID news, but it's been like, yeah, so they're doing a press conference on COVID-19. Good old Fauci, I haven't seen him in a while. All right, so let me just update this a little bit. Looks like price could be making its way back down, which doesn't really make sense for it to push up like this so heavily, unless there was like earnings that were released today or something really causing the push to the upside. But looking over here at the fundamentals, they're not very strong. They're now below 100 points. So I don't think it's going to hold. I think it's going to drop right back down. Looking over here at the heat map, it's still pretty red. Like the only reason I'd expect it to be a complete reversal if this was all green. So I don't see the stock index really holding up very long. Let me refresh this. Yeah, there's only like one stock here that's really green. It's Home Depot. Home Depot and Boeing. These are the only two really green stocks. Everything else is kind of normal. Yeah, the red stocks are still holding up as well. Yeah, so it looks like price is in a really, really tight range before it makes its way back down. It's all good. I'm just glad I wasn't caught in any of this mess right here, like looking for a sell or whatnot. Jalon said might give the buyers one good day. Yeah, no, possibly, Jalon. I could see that. With tomorrow being the inflation news, I could see that because tomorrow's going to be bad news either way. CPI and core CPI, I don't expect it to be any good. Or maybe it'll be neutral. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be neutral, but I don't expect the consumer price index to be getting any better, especially with inflation going up. So we might just keep it, like price might just stay above this area for the day or so, and then tomorrow we'll expect it to drop. But I expect it to eventually drop. For today, my target price is going to be down here, though. We're still looking for price to come back to opening price, which is this blue line. So this is going to be the area to look out for. I wouldn't just take any sell though, because I know some people just try to take any sell at any moment. So we'll see. Let's see. All right. Well, some people told me that their groups are taking sells. They took sells like really early and they just got stopped out. Dang, that sucks for those groups. Yeah, we have some other people here in our groups that are like in other groups. I guess their signal group told them to take sells a little early and they just got stopped out all their sells. Yeah, they just got demolished. Yeah, Fern said accounts getting blown. Yeah, guys, just be patient, right? I haven't told you guys to take any trades right now. I do expect price to come down, but I'm not like taking any gambles. I'm waiting for actual price to show that it's going to come down. Let me just do this real quick. Yeah, if you guys CC Maddie, if you're in the other group. Yeah, it's a horrible day for them. All right, anyways, let me go over here and show you guys what everyone else locked in. So let's see. Al sent in some profits real quick. Looks like he took the breakout this morning. Nice work, Al. Total profit of 2,273 for the day. So great work right there, Al. So glad to see some of you guys here still took the breakout, even though it was a risky trade. Kenny over here as well. He took the breakout, locked in a total profit of 174. Nice work, Kenny. Looks like you took a partial, but you did pretty well. David over here as well. He said too risky, trap Tuesday. Better wait and keep my account. Yeah. So David over here too. He locked in 16 bucks, not bad, off a small account. And it's not bad, guys. Like if you guys have a small account or a big account, it's going to grow over time. So great work right here, David. Yeah, and it's better to be safe than sorry, especially right now. B over here as well. So B took some buys here off the breakout, took some sells on the way back down. Total profit of 37,300 for the day. And crazy work right there, B. Nice work on that. Kenny over here again, 174. Charles over here, he took the sells on the swing back down. He said FOMO because I got jury duty right now. Done for the day. All right, Charles, yeah, have fun at jury duty. So Charles over here locked in a total of 605 for the day. Nice work, Charles. I forgot who did that one time. One of our members had jury duty, and they brought their laptop with them to court, and they were just trading during their jury duty session. Kevin over here, nice work, Kevin. Total profit of 18,680 for the day. Looks like you took the breakout right there as well. So great work, Kevin. Some more profits down here. Melzon took the breakout earlier, locking a total profit of 2,880. Nice work, Melzon. And then again, right here, locked in a total profit of 549. So solid work right there, Melzon. Yeah, I mean, I was here's Jay. Sorry, one more time. Jay over here locked in a total of 2,167. He took the breakout earlier as well. Nice work, Jay. Yeah, no, I was like, man, if I knew that those signal groups were taking sells, I would have taken the breakout. I would have felt more comfortable. Whenever I see signal groups doing the opposite of us, typically they're going to get burnt. So whenever we had the breakout for a buy, like if I knew other people were taking sells, I probably would have been okay to take like a partial move for the buy. Like that's how confident I feel about my trades whenever someone does opposite of us, right? So if you guys are in signal groups and people are doing opposite of K2, let me know, because I'm probably going to take a trade, even though I think it's risky. That's how confident I feel about my analysis. If my analysis points for a buy and another group is selling, odds are our buy is probably going to play out. It's an extra confirmation. It's just another confluence for us. So I like seeing when people have opposite analysis of me, because typically their analysis is usually going to be weaker than mine. So unfortunately, I saw that they were taking sells at like a little too late. If I saw they were taking sells when we were in the breakout, I would have taken at least the last push. But oh well. I mean, we'll see what happens there with the other groups. But at the moment, we're just pretty much waiting for now until we can wait for this to make its way back down. So yeah, as I mentioned, my target is still down here. It's just not a good time to enter yet. Like I don't think price is done pushing up yet. Until then, price is pretty much just ranging around this area. Yeah, thanks to Akil. Akil said that there is a sell that is setting up right here for a V3. The only problem with this is that it's so close to the, I mean, it's going to be right at the session. So I don't think it'll be possible for us to take this trade here. So small sell right there. I was thinking about maybe even taking it for partial, but it's a bit risky. Yeah, no, it's too risky for me to take because it is close to the sessions right here. See if I can find something. Maybe I'll take it for a partial move. Let me check the higher time frames to see where price is actually going. I think Maddie said there was like one here, or no. No, it's a 15 for a buy right there. see how far down is it. Yeah, it's because it's right at the sessions. So let me see how far of a push do I need to just get at least 100 pips here. It is risky though. Yeah, it's so close to the sessions right here. Yeah, because there's the sessions on both sides. It really is considered super risky. So I'll probably just watch it for a bit. I'm gonna try not to fumble into it, but we'll see. The signal there even flows invalid. Maddie said already hit 10 points bottom. Yeah, from that. See how far does it go down from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this area right here. If price breaks this point, this low, I think it'll drop at least 10 pips or 100 pips actually. I'm going to check from this point here. It's got to be smart about it. So I'll watch it and I'll see. I just want to see where price is going. Because if it does push below here, I think it might come down and test the next low. So it's basically creating liquidity right there. Not yet. Trying to figure out if this is the high. So the way that I see it right here is I see this kind of developing an area of liquidity right here. So still haven't. Yeah. Because what I'm expecting right here is I'm expecting price to push down a little bit, like enough to hit my TP. Oh crap, let me change this. Enough to hit my TP and create an area of liquidity below here. But it's just too risky of a move. So I'm not looking to really take it right now. I'll probably hold off for a bit. I shouldn't be following into these trades. You know, I try to give you guys proper risk management. So no, I'm not gonna fall into the trade. I was tempted though. Because what I'm expecting right here is I'm expecting price to keep pushing down a little bit and just create an area of liquidity right here. So that when it does come down to this point, it'll actually drop, right? And there's no actual entry at this point either. So we would need I'm gonna keep following to see if there's any like actual sell entries, but even if we were to get a sell entry, we need a pending momentum. So it doesn't really matter. Let me check the sentiment real quick. Sentiment's actually shifted a bit. So yeah, no, exactly, Maddie. Maddie said, good thing you didn't enter when that first when it broke that first low, retrace for 30. Yeah, I mean, price is pretty much ranging right here. The sentiment isn't even there's no use for the sentiment right now for retail sentiment because it's 49.51. There's like literally no direction. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're somewhat bullish, not very strong, but it's above 100 points. COVID relief team is still talking. Check the heat map. So for the most part, price is just going sideways right here. Here we go with this momentum signal coming up, which is fine. We want this to come up. However, even if it does come up, it's not going to be a good entry for us to take here because price is just ranging. Like we need price to actually go somewhat directional. Oh, Mills on, so that was me on jury duty. Oh yeah, Mills on. I remember you when you were on jury duty, which you brought your laptop. Tody said, don't break the rules on which you were teaching us to follow. We are like kids and you're giving us a bad example. Yeah, I know, right, Tody? Yeah, I got to sit on my hands. This is like the worst time to trade. The worst time to trade when price is just ranging. You want to wait for it to actually break below. So basically I'm looking for it to break below, retest, continuous drop, and then come back to our target price down here, which is opening. So yeah, I'm gonna try to be patient here with you guys. I know it's tough. Doesn't matter how long you've been trading for, you still get FOMO, you still get the itch to like take a quick little trade, but you know, a lot of times it's best to just sit it out. So let's see. Sam said Nasdaq came already back to open. Yeah, I don't know how Nasdaq is moving today. I could check. That's 100. Yeah, so Nasdaq over here had the same thing. It pushed up and then it came back down. So Nasdaq already had its move to the downside. US30 doesn't mirror Nasdaq, so it's not necessarily going to be. It's not necessarily going to be of use because it doesn't have a confluence there, but it did come back down. So Nasdaq had the same issue. It pushed up and then it came back down to opening price right here. It's kind of where I expect US30 to come down to eventually at some point, maybe not immediately, but eventually. Let's see. Kodi said, Sean, do you think to take some buys if price breaks the range to the upside? I mean, possibly. If it looks good, then yeah, maybe, Kodi. The only reason I'm okay with that is because we don't have an overall bias, right? So if this right here was still indicating to take sells, then, you know, I would just stick with sells. But for this right here, it's now shifting. So this is shifting from sells to buys. And with the fundamentals currently up, this makes it okay. I mean, not right now, but if it pushes up higher, this makes it okay to look for buys because the bias is now for a buy. It's a weak buy, but it's still a buy. So if I see something good, then yeah, possibly, but not exactly like it's not like I'm for sure going to look for buys because it might just be temporary. So it might be good for maybe 1 or 2 trades, but not necessarily for a complete reversal. Yeah, Jonathan said, definitely wanted to break outside of those sessions before making a move. Yeah, and I agree too, Jonathan. Because it's literally just going sideways right now. And it's easy to get stopped out here, right? If you guys are entering any trades, your stop loss is about 300 pips. I mean, it's easy to get stopped out here if you enter at the wrong time. So just be smart about your trades and be patient. Let me scroll up real quick and see if I missed anything. Al said, good morning. Any update on the 10-minute gold V1? I could check. So, I mean, gold's been hitting. If you guys have been playing that strategy on the 10-minute, I think we changed the trend meter though, right? Like 15, 30. 15, 30, 1 hour. I mean, I don't know if technically we're using a trend meter here. I don't know if we want to keep it at same as chart or if we want to just have it the long-term way, but there was a V3 right here. It didn't fit the requirements because the trend meter was green, but I don't see anything else here. Aside from that, there was, yeah, this doesn't fit the requirement. There was one right here though. So this happened at 110. This one would have hit full TP right there. So I'm not sure if you guys have been applying it. If you guys sat in on the mentoring session yesterday, we went over the strategy. It's basically one that Rashida came up with. It's basically V1s on the 10-minute. There's no entry right now though. So this is the strategy here. It's just a V1. There's nothing else that came up though, because the trend meter here doesn't necessarily match. So we'd be looking for a sell here, but nothing at the moment. Yeah, and there we go. Price drop below. So here we go, as price makes its way lower. That's basically where we anticipate price to go. So it finally broke out of the range. My target price is going to be opening price right here, obviously. Trying to see if there's anything here for us to. I mean, there's no entries right now at the moment, but I do expect it to come tumbling back down at some point. Let's see. Yeah, it started dropping pretty heavy. There was so there was considered a high-low scalp right here for whoever was looking to take it. But right now I'm just pretty much just watching to see where price goes. So there was just one entry that came up right here, which is a high-low scalp. It was a risky entry because it was right at the sessions, but all in all, it came down. It was like basically the initiative move to come back to the downside. So it was a high-low scalp that happened right there. I don't really see anything else right now. Keep watching for it, but I don't see anything at the moment. Because in order for us to take any variations, we need a pending signal. So in order to get that, we need a retracement signal to come up. Price might continue dropping, but I don't recommend really chasing it until you find some sort of entry to actually take. Right? I'm not looking to FOMO into any of these moves right here. I know it's really tempting to hop into some sells because we do expect it to come down lower. But the last thing you want to do is get caught in any retracement. So I'll keep watching. But expect price to have like some crazy movement. Like I don't expect it to be a smooth move down here. Like I do expect it to eventually come down, but I don't think it's gonna be like a super smooth, like automatic, automatic win for anyone to take any like random sells here. Let's see, Maddie said B1 body hit for 10 pips, but didn't take it. Oh yeah, for the swing back up right here, right? The retracement. So Maddie's talking about the V1 right here. There's also no overall bias, so just keep that in mind, guys. Damn, look at the fundamentals. This thing dropped, it was like 100 points, and then all of a sudden it's now back in the red. So it just dropped like within an instant. That's why I don't really follow fundamentals very much. I typically use the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is usually what I use because it doesn't move as fast. The fundamentals here kind of shift really quickly. This was like 110 points, and then now it's 15. Like a huge drop. Here goes, price drops back lower. Let's see if there's anything here for me to look at. Let's see. All right. Jonathan said my MT4 is going in and out. Something's going to happen when that happens. Yeah, so guys, be careful with your entries right here. Jonathan said that his MT4 keeps turning off and on, like it keeps disconnecting. You guys have seen that, or you guys have like witnessed that before when you guys have traded. Whenever MT4 starts acting funny, you want to be careful because what might happen is you might enter a trade and then your MT4 might disconnect and then you won't be able to exit the trade. So that's like the worst part. Like say, for example, you're in a position and then your MT4 just freezes on you and then price ends up like way up here and it doesn't close. You're going to be super screwed because you're going to be draw down like 700 pips. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm not sure if anyone else is having issues with MT4, but this is an issue that usually happens when the market gets crazy volatile. But our target's still down here. So I'm still expecting price to come down. It's just a matter of time until it does. Price broke out of this range, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. the new range is going to be down here now. So we have this low. This high is pushing up. Once it establishes, I'll close it off. But right now, this is what we've got. All right. So price was ranging right here. It dropped down now into a new range. But yeah, just be careful with your entries, guys. Don't just chase. Don't take any trade that you just like. If there's no entry, like no actual strategy, don't take it. If there's like an actual strategy that looks good though, then yeah, you should be okay with taking it. But don't just like randomly hop into a sell because you think price is going to come down here. It'll come down there. It's just going to be a matter of time. It's not going to be like an automatic, like in 1 second, it's down here already. So just be careful with it. All right. Yeah, John said it's best to have the phones by side just in case. Yeah, and I agree too, John. Just have your MC4 on your phone just in case, like if you do get caught up in, your MC4 freezing on you, so that you can try to close it manually. Let me scroll up real quick. So E said try these settings. I tried over a month period and had a 90% win rate. 5-minute chart trend meter set to 1516. Gotcha. I'm gonna copy this down to E. So let's see. E's gold. Oops. It's not copying. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, you took about 30 trades, 30 as your TP stop loss. I don't know why this thing isn't copying for some reason. Thanks for the hint. I guess for the heads up, E. Gotcha. Okay. So I'll just read this real quick. E said, I've been testing these settings on Goldtron. I tried over a month period, had a 90% win rate without looking at any news. 5-minute chart trend meter set to 15, 30, 60, and 120, about 35 trades, 30, all during New York session. Good to know. I'll check that out as well. I think you put that in the group, right? I think I might have missed it. Because I think I did see you put that in the chat, and I missed it. But I'll take a look at it as well. I mean, the better the win rate, the better it is for us. Because if it's 1-to-1 risk to reward and then it's 90% win rate, you'll have you'll be winning 40% of the time. So, sorry, not 40% of the time. You'll be winning 90% of the time. So you will. If you just take every single trade, you should be profitable no matter what. Yeah, E said, I'm currently testing out trading US30 and NASDAQ on the 1 minute with trend meter settings 3, 5, 7, 10. Seems like it allows you to avoid a lot of losses, but only been a day. We'll back test later. Awesome. Thanks, E. Yeah, no, it's great. The higher the win rate, the better, especially if it's a 1-on-1. You can literally just take every single trade and do pretty solid. Mauricio said having good success selling NASDAQ 100 today. Yeah, this thing's tumbling down pretty heavy. Another entry right there too, possibly. All right, let's get back to US30. So there's no entry available right here yet, guys. Technically it looks like there's possibly a. So the problem with this entry right here as a V3 is that for one, it's close to the sessions, and for two, we don't have the overall bias. So in order for us to have like a solid, like a valid entry for a V3, we would need to confirm the overall bias, which unfortunately we can't do right now because the sentiment is just all over the place. Sentiment is currently 49% long, so it's not bearish at all. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're not even red yet. They're still at 26 points in the green. So this would go against the first requirement here, confirming the overall bias. Even our technical bias here is bullish as well. You can see prices above the pivots technically, and the trend meter is green. So at the moment, I don't think this V3 would be anywhere near a valid entry. It could be a speculative V3, but not necessarily a valid one, because we need to have all the requirements met before we can consider it valid. E said V1 body he was using for gold. Majority of my losses were buys, so maybe just look for sells. Yeah, so I think we could probably still use, I'm gonna take this off, guys, because this is not an entry. I don't want you guys to get confused with that. But yeah, like E mentioned, he took the V1. Majority losses were buys, so if we were to just look for sells, it would probably be a 95% win rate. So I think sentiment would still come in handy. You know, I think it's still better to choose quality trades over like a quantity of trades. So looking at gold over here, the reason why we're looking for sells is because we're using the same analysis we use for US30. Right here for gold, it shows that 84% of retail traders are currently buying. So we want to do the opposite and sell, right? Because that's what least amount of people are doing. So looking over here at gold, you know, if you look at basically any sell entry for a V3, like say, for example, we were using no trend meter, because this is the bare basic way of applying it. No trend meter, you know, pending momentum here. If you were to take this right here as a V1, because this fit the requirements, take a short position right there. We used a fixed TP stop loss of 300 pips. This is what we went over during the mentoring session yesterday. So if you guys want to rewatch it, just go to the YouTube channel and watch the mentoring session from yesterday. We spent like the whole day on this. You basically take that trade there, let it run, and full TP. So I think that's what I'll do, guys. You know, if and when I do trade gold with you guys, I will be looking for only sells, because the bias here is obviously for a clear sell. So what you're looking for here, if you're looking for another entry off gold, I would be looking for this retracement signal, which is currently active right here. It's pending. If this closes, then look for a high, something like this, a higher high or a lower high, anywhere around this area. And then if it comes down with a double wick or double body like that, then take the sell, right? That's going to be your sell entry for gold. Similar to like what happened right here. It's the same pattern, right? You have a high right there. Opposite candle is red. There's a pending sell coming. Take this for a short position. It's basically a set and forget strategy. You just take it, set your TP stop loss, 300 pips. You let that run. And there you go, full TP. Another one right here, same thing. You do the same exact thing. Set and forget it. Let it run, full TP. So, I mean, if you take these, like basically just the sells, I mean, losses are like very unlikely. So I'll come back and take a look at this. We'll take a look at the gold entry at some point. But if you guys want to rewatch the mentoring session from yesterday, we covered that pretty much in detail yesterday. We even went over different possibilities of entries. You guys can watch that. And if you guys are not familiar with how to find that, let me just show you real quick. So if you go to the YouTube channel, just go to youtube.com/K2Trades. This is what the YouTube channel looks like. Go to videos and then go to the most recent mentoring session right here. This is from yesterday. Only 100 people have seen it. So if you guys want to go watch it, we went over that strategy specifically there. So if you want to see a gold strategy that like rarely loses, I mean, there's another one. Where's the other entry? I'm trying to find another one here. Another one like right here. Right. There's actually two right here. So there's one that's right there. And there's actually one that's like right before it too right here. There's like two of them. Full TP for both of them. This first one right here, full TP. The second one, full TP. I think Rashida even put that in the chat. Another one right here. I mean, this strategy is like crazy. It's like we've been backtesting it yesterday, and we're specifically looking for losses. So again, right here, there's a double body. pending sell signal. If you just look for sells, I think you might have close to 100% win rate. It's a fixed TP stop loss 101, full TP. And there's another one right here too, right before it. So that one was a full TP. Another one right here. Take that one. Another full TP. So I'll be looking for these entries too, guys. If I see anything, if I go with the solid lot size, I should fix it on my copier too, so I can take them across all my accounts. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, or if you guys want to see it, just go back to the YouTube channel. Right there, it's going to be this video right here. July 16th, group mentoring session. I mean, July 11th, sorry. All right, back to US30. There's still nothing going on here. It's just in a wide range, fortunately. I think some of you guys are playing around with that strategy here on the on NASDAQ yesterday too. Let's see. Looks like NASDAQ is in the middle of a range as well. It's not really doing too much. Currently ranging. Yeah, there really isn't much for us to look at over here. ESA is currently 1 on the 5-minute running, but it was a doji. I've been avoiding those. Gotcha. Well, it's good to know. Tony said about the gold strategy on the 10-minute. I think maybe it could be a good idea to put the requirement minimum stop loss like V3. Only an idea. You can test it, Sean. Yeah, no, I agree with that too, Tony. I think that's pretty solid. So I think right now we'll probably test it with like the base requirements, and then we'll add that on later. Because the thing is, we don't want to limit our entries. Like if there's like a lot of good entries, we don't want to limit it too early on. So we'll test it with base requirements, and then if we want to increase the win rate, or if we need to, then we can use that requirement as well. Yeah, I think it'll be good. All these ideas are good, guys, because this is just going to help us make the strategy better. So nothing here off gold, nothing here off US30. I mean, this range is just getting tighter. So if I was to just like pull back a little bit and just take everything off the chart, you guys can see that market isn't really doing too much, right? So market opened right here. This is where market opened. It's a blue line. Price pushed up, consolidated, came back down, consolidated. And now we can expect price to either break out to the upside or to the downside. But you guys can see so much liquidity built up on both sides, right? There's so much liquidity up here, so much liquidity down here. It's kind of like it's starting to squeeze a bit. So price is squeezing down to this area. Now that it's squeezed, it's going to have to break out one way or the other. So it's a matter of time. Turn everything back on. Target price can be down here, obviously. All right, so nothing off US30. Looks like NASDAQ is starting to swing its way back up a little bit. You know, I don't think US30 is ready to come down yet. I think this will keep messing around up here. It's kind of like what Jolan was saying earlier this morning, right? Like it might give buyers a good day, and then tomorrow's going to swing back down. The reason why I'm not really convinced it's going to swing back down yet is because the sentiment here has shifted. Yeah, there's no bias at all. Sentiment is 50-50. This is why I don't really expect it to come down yet. If this was still about 50%, or I mean 55% or like 60%, then I would expect it to swing back down. But this is going to be our main indicator determining, what the overall direction is going to be. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes back up. If it pushes back up, then maybe we can shift to some buys. But currently, right now, there really isn't much for us to take at the moment. So maybe we'll take a look at gold. I think this will be our pair for today if it provides a buy entry. So in order for us to get a sell entry, in order for us to get a sell, we need a retracement signal. See, east of the 5 minutes going good right now with my trend meter settings. Let's go to the 5 real quick. Oh yeah, so there's actually one that's currently running right now. So the thing with this right here is I probably wouldn't take this one here because there was a signal on the entry candle or the candle that confirmed. But yeah, it looks like it is running right now, so it does look solid. The only thing that I'd be worried about is that there's a signal on the confirmation candle. I think you look for a double body right here, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if it hits because we're still looking for a sell here. Or if anything, it might create another entry right after it, kind of like what it did earlier on the 10. It might kind of like bounce around this area, create another high, and then second entry again right there. We'll see. But it does look good though. NASDAQ over here is pushing back up as well. I guess since the market is kind of trippy lately, we can start analyzing other indices. I think we should probably leave it open to like US30, gold, and then probably NASDAQ, because it seems like we have a lot of free time now when we're trading US30 because it's not as volatile as it has been, or it's been kind of choppy, or it's just been like sideways most of the time. So I think in order to make use of our New York session, I think gold would be a good thing to keep an eye out for. Maybe gold, US30, and NASDAQ here. So since we're looking at NASDAQ, I'm going to go ahead and just mark up the areas of liquidity here, or I guess we would consider them high lows. Because I think these are the main pairs that you guys like to trade anyways. And I can analyze anything. It's not necessarily just US30. It's just that US30 is what I'm really good at. So that's why I stick to US30. But the analysis works the same for whatever asset you want to trade. Like you can still mark up liquidity for whatever pair, whatever indice. Doesn't really make a difference because momentum lies within all assets, right? As long as it's like an actual moving asset. So marked up liquidity here. 10-minute. Not that I'll necessarily trade these, but I will analyze them for you if this is what you guys want. Because I do see a lot of you guys do trade NASDAQ. You guys ask about it. And if you guys are not familiar with NASDAQ, NASDAQ is just it's the technology index. So US30 is the overall index. NASDAQ is typically just technology companies. And gold is gold. So you guys can see there's a lot of liquidity sitting right here. So this is fine that price is pushing up slightly for NASDAQ. I think when price does finally swing back down, it's going to knock out all this liquidity. So it's fine if you guys are looking for a sell there. And looking over here at the index as well, or at the sentiment. And NASDAQ's not even on here. It's weird. It used to be on here. Yeah, it's not on here, but gotcha. Yeah, you said you have to look on. So let's see, US 100 sentiment. Yeah, that is weird. All right, let me see over here. Daily FX. Yeah, that is weird. Well, it's 61% long, so you're looking for sells. So yeah, if prices come down here, I would expect it to continue dropping. Hopefully it's accurate. It's not like US30 where it's like 61% and then you change it like a few seconds later, it's like 50%. I mean, either way, it looks long. It went from 61 to 66. COVID response team is still going on. Oh, gotcha. E. Yeah, E said there's a currency.com, capital.com data, but they're all different. I'd probably just stick with IG. I mean, either way, it's still long. It goes from 61 to 66. Man, US30 has been like pretty trash lately. Look at this huge. I mean, it's just squeezing now. This is actually not a bad thing because now that price is squeezing, it is going to break out one way or the other. I wouldn't really take a prediction here though. I'd probably just wait. So, although our target's still going to be down here. The only problem here is that sentiment hasn't changed at all. It's still indicating neutral, so we don't have an overall direction. Fundamentals here haven't really moved at all either. They're still at 40 points. Looking at the heat map over here, not much has really changed. It's basically just same. It's like lightly green, some red. Um, hmm. Oh, so there was news at 7. The tentative news actually came out at 7 o'clock. It was IBD, TIPP, economic optimism. It was negative. So I'll mark that up on the chart right here. 7 o'clock. Right there. Here we go. As price comes down, hit this area of liquidity. So let's see if this is the breakout to the downside. Looks like it might be. So we basically needed to break below here and confirm like a continued push. Kel said, US30 should follow. Yeah, they marry each other, Kel. Yeah, no, they marry each other. S&P actually follows US30. US30 is the faster moving one because it's only 30 stocks. So if you guys are not familiar with like the S&P 500, S&P 500 mirrors US30. US30 is the main one. This is why this is the one that costs the most and it moves the fastest because it's only 30 stocks. S&P 500 is basically, it's the same thing. It mirrors the same stocks within US30, but there's more stocks within it. That's why it moves a lot slower. I don't know what's up with my Telegram. I can see your messages, Kel, but it like lags on my. I had to reset it right now. But yeah, US30 and S&P 500, they both mirror each other. So if I just pull up, that's why I don't really trade S&P because it doesn't make sense for me to trade it since they're literally the same thing. So just looking at S&P right here and US30, I mean, it's pretty much the same pair. I'll put them side by side. So US30. And S&P. So this one right here had it's basically the same thing. It's just Yeah. So if you look at these two candles right here, it's doing exactly the same thing. Typically, these just mirror each other. S&P 500 is considered like US30's little brother because it's cheaper to trade, it's less volatile, and it usually, I mean, they're usually doing the same exact thing. If you look at both candles here, they're literally doing the same thing. This red candle and this red candle, they just mirror each other. I just don't trade S&P because usually the reason people don't trade, they trade S&P over US30 is because it costs too much, right? Like you need a lot of margin to trade US30 on a personal account. But since we're trading FTMO and whatnot, it's not really necessary because you can trade either one. All right, so back over here to NASDAQ. We'll keep this right here for now. Not really much going on there. S&P, I mean, not S&P, US30. So price never came down below here, as we mentioned. It kind of just pushed below it and it didn't close. So the range here just got wider now. The range here got wider. I'm gonna close this, close this. Close that. It's not really much going on. It's just back to where it was. It looks like where price is currently ranging is just gonna be around news price and the sessions. So it just keeps coming back to this area right here. If I was to draw a rectangle around this area, this is pretty much where the range is. So this is basically the big range for the day so far. Price hasn't gone anywhere. Going back to gold, it's like your gold trade's still running. E right here. And I'm tempted to enter a trade, like a gold trade here, but I want like an actual entry for me to enter. It's too late for me to enter at this point. It's already in profit. It's in profit almost 100 pips. So I'm gonna turn this off. And US30 is a mess. It's just going sideways. This is not the good time to trade, guys. So if you guys want to, if you guys are looking to enter anything, just I would sit out because right now it's just still in its range. It just keeps bouncing back and forth. I'm kind of hoping it pushes up higher. I want it to push up higher so that by tomorrow it'll be easier to take sells. Because we'll have so much liquidity built up here. I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to leave all of these areas of liquidity. I'm not going to clean up my chart. I'm just going to clean up the stuff over here so that we have these left over till tomorrow. So that when we come back tomorrow for the next live, we're still going to have these marked up and we'll see where price goes. So that'll be pretty useful. I've seen a lot of you guys who keep up your opening price from like the day before and it's still useful, right? So it comes back and retests the same exact price point. So if you guys could leave your markups up, I think that'd be really beneficial for you guys because it does keep areas of importance on the chart for you. Tony said triple confluence needs trend meter in the same direction for momentum is blue. Yeah, it's currently blue right now, or it's green now at the moment. Oh, my bad. I just saw you guys were talking to each other. So Madhu said possible triple confluence, and Tony corrected and said, yeah, that it would need to be matching the color. Yeah, trend meter looks like it's going to stay green for a while. So I think it'll have a temporary push to the upside for maybe the remaining of the day. So we might not reach back to open. Right here, sentiment hasn't changed at all. Looks like people are kind of iffy. Some people are thinking that price is going to reverse. Some people think price is going to come down. It's just half and half, which is interesting. And we're pretty much just here, like we're just sitting and watching, waiting for this to go one way or the other. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Kenny said, I think I'm going to sit out of the market until tomorrow. Yeah, probably best idea, Kenny. You don't want to risk any trades here with no clear direction. Yeah, Tony said during war, everybody wants to buy gold. So I think long time the sentiment will be short. Yeah, I think the sentiment will continue to be short as well. Tony, due to the recession coming as well. Gold is a safe haven currency. So if you guys are not familiar with like safe haven currencies, whenever the economy is not doing good, people will buy safe haven currencies such as gold or the yen. So that's why everyone's trying to buy gold. But right now, the market's doing the opposite. So I look at the sentiment here. While everyone's buying gold, it's 84% of people who are buying. We're still selling. We're doing the complete opposite because we don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So eventually, I think gold will recover and go back up. But I think right now, while sentiment is still super high, I think this will continue to drop. So here's your trade E. It's still running in profit halfway there. Let me check the 10. Yeah, I mean, looks good for the most part. US30 hasn't done anything. It's just ranging around this area. So if you just follow the sessions right here, it's just been going sideways for the past hour now. Nasdaq's pushed up a bit. There was a V1 right there. I'm not sure if anyone saw that. There's a V1 entry, double wick, double body. Pending sell signal. Straight to profit target right there. Man, what a crappy market. I was hoping to get at least one trade today. It's 7:37 right now, so the market is kind of slow. Let me check my messages real quick, see what everyone else has got over here. So Maddie just sent in his profits. He said he locked in 1,848 off this first account, or 1,841 off this account. Nice work, Maddie. And then his second account over here locked in a total of 2,360. Solid work, Maddie. Kevin over here locked in 23,000 off this account. Solid all wins, no losses. Great work. Scrolling down a little bit, Kenny over here as well. Kenny locked in a little more, locked in a total of 405. Great work, Kenny. I think that's enough for you to call it a day, especially on a risky day like this. Shannon over here as well, locked in a total profit of 102. Great work, Shannon. Solid. So really good consistency right there, Shannon. Pretty good. Small losses, kept your losses pretty minimal. Wins over here pretty big. So great work right there. Yeah, so Shannon over here, pretty solid wins. And then your total account over here, 211. So not bad. Looks like you've been playing around with NASDAQ. It's been treating you well. NASDAQ, US30, oil, pretty solid overall. Kevin over here currently up 34K. Taking speculative trades. Nice work. Scotty over here logged in a total of 682. He took the breakout earlier this morning, and then he took a small loss right here off a sell, and then he made it right back right after. So great work right there, Scotty. And Ellie over here as well. He took the sell on gold, hit his full TP, locked in 121, and then he took a sell off US30 over here. Total profit of 1,079. Not bad. 2 trades a day keeps the job away, right, Nelly? So Nelly over here, I've seen your profits like every day. You've been taking a couple of trades, but they're all like very high quality trades. So you've been doing pretty good with that. So yeah, if you keep that up, man, it's consistency. Kenny over here, right, again, 405. So nice work, Kenny. And then Mauricio over here, currently at 14,000 for the day. Looks like you traded gold, US30, oil, NASDAQ. It looks like you took a loss here off gold, unfortunately. Maybe you entered that a little too early. It's all good. Happens though, but you still did pretty solid overall. Currently at 14,000 925. Let's go back to that gold. That gold's still running right here. I think this is one of the longest gold trades I've seen. Usually they hit pretty quickly, but this one's been going for a while now. US30 over here. So price is starting to come back down, but it's still within the range. So the smaller range right here is kind of pointless to trade within, because price can just swing right back up like it's doing right there. It's rejecting right off the sessions, and it can swing right back up. Nice work, Sean. So Sean over here locked in a total profit of 3,195. Looks like he took a breakout there on 630, 635, took some sells. Pretty solid wins all around. So great work right there, Sean. Yeah, B said, I think I'm done for the day. Going back to my hometown, don't want to lose my profits. Yeah, that'd probably be best decision, man. You did pretty good today. So pretty solid overall. Total of 67K right here. Looks like you held that drop earlier on when it came from the top. Took that at 658. So yeah, you caught it from up here and you just held on to that drop right there. So you actually caught it right when it was coming down. Looks like the V1 here you might have caught, or something similar, something around that area. Yeah, you pretty much entered somewhere around this area. Looks like you kind of just took a risk and you wrote it down for about 1,000 pips. So nice work right there, B. Yeah, probably best to just sit it out for the rest of the day. All right, have a safe trip back home, B. Probably see you back here tomorrow morning. Other than that, I think that's about it for right now. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. All right, let me scroll down. Yeah, Mauricio said market not great, but better than yesterday. Yeah, it's not great. It's still moving sideways, but it's not as erratic as yesterday, right? It's a little better. There just wasn't any entries for me. I was hoping there'd be some sort of entry for me to take here, but there just isn't. So yeah, it isn't as good as yesterday, but it looks like it's starting to, well, I think this is the start of a better day. I think tomorrow's gonna be a better day because right now price is kind of just halfway with regard to sentiment. And then as it, starts to weigh one direction, it's gonna start to provide us a better bias, because we just don't have a bias right now. It's been bullish. I mean, it's been bearish for like 2 months now. So I think this is good that now it's kind of at the halfway mark, because now it's going to shift in one direction. It's either going to reverse, which I doubt it will, or it's going to correct back down, which is where I think it will be going, especially with the news tomorrow. So I think this is all planned. Obviously, it's like, they're going to kind of bring it to a 50-50. And then tomorrow when the CPI news comes out, it's just going to dump right back down. Or it might dump the opposite way. Who knows? Just keep in mind that this number here keeps changing, right? It hasn't been like this all day. Like earlier it was kind of just neutral. Now it's kind of changing. So this is what they're forecasting. They're forecasting consumer price index to be higher, meaning inflation is going up. No surprise. We are going through a recession, so should be fine. Nice, guys. Jonathan said, gonna head out. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, Sean. Definitely, Jonathan. We'll see you tomorrow. Nice. Maddie's playing around with NASDAQ. It's cool. All right, so here goes. Price pushes outside of the range. This is fine though. I want this to push outside. I'm gonna keep marking up liquidity below here. So when price comes back down tomorrow, we'll know exactly where the liquidity is sitting. NASDAQ here is going sideways. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Anything that you guys want me to cover, feel free to put your questions. Right now I'm not really looking to take anything specific. If I see something good, I'll take it. But I have about 15 minutes till 8 o'clock, which is my cutoff for trading. So if I don't see anything from now until then, which I doubt I will, I'm probably just going to sit out the rest of the session. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I can answer whatever questions you guys have. If there's any strategies you want me to cover or review, feel free to put them in the chat as well. I'm here to help you guys out. So whatever you guys need help with, feel free to just put your questions there, and I could clear up any confusion or clarify anything that you guys need help with. Unfortunately, today wasn't a great trading day. I mean, this week has been kind of iffy in general. If you guys have been following along, it's been like this for past couple of weeks now, which is normal. It is summer, so just keep in mind that the market does move in season. So if you guys are not familiar with that, the market typically gets a bit slower during the summer. It gets a bit more erratic because a lot of the market makers and big traders like the whales are not in the market right now. Everyone's on vacation. So this is normal for the market to kind of get choppy like this, especially right before a big news day like tomorrow. But it's really just like fishing, guys. Like I try to use that analogy with you guys all the time. It's about being patient and disciplined, just waiting for a perfect entry. We didn't get that perfect entry today. I mean, even looking back at all the entries over here, there were a couple entries that came up. I think this one right here, this was the V3 that we were looking at, right? So this V3 here actually would have played out. It was a risky trade, but it did play out eventually. So, I mean, this is probably the only trade that came up that would have maybe fit the requirements. The only requirements that weren't really met were that the overall bias was met because it was neutral. But it's better to have a neutral bias than an opposite bias, right? Other than that, I don't really see anything else here that we could have. I mean, you could have taken a V1 right here. Actually, I take that back. There was a lot of entries here, but they were all risky entries. Like there was a V1 here, but there was no bias as well. So there was a V1 for a buy that could have been taken right there. Another V1 for a sell right here, but it was right at the session. So obviously another trade that would have been avoided. But it looks like it would have hit TP as well. So there were a lot of entries here. There just weren't quality entries. That's what I was trying to get across to you guys. There's no quality entries for us to take. This was probably the most quality entry that we had, but it was still risky. Other than that, I think that was about it. I don't see anything else here. Yeah, there was about 3 entries that came up. It was this V3 that we were looking at. This is the one that I was kind of tempted to enter. This is where I was telling you guys I wanted to enter right away. But I didn't, I didn't FOMO into it. This one over here is a V1 that Maddie identified earlier, and then another V1 here as well. But other than that, I mean, it's been a pretty choppy market for the day. Mauricio said Nas has been good today for consistent sells. Yeah, there was another V3 right here actually came up. I think that was one I marked up earlier. Yeah, the NASDAQ does have a bias though. So for here, the sells would be good. I'm not sure if you caught that, Mauricio. I think you probably did. Seems like you've been paying attention to it. Oh gosh, yeah. So that was one that you posted. Nice. So yeah, for Mauricio, he took this sell here for a V1. So as you guys can see, these strategies work for all assets. It's not just US30. I just personally use it for US30, but other traders here in K2 do use it for different assets. So for this trade right here, Mauricio took the sell off NASDAQ 100. He locked in down pretty much all wins here off NASDAQ. Took this one right here, made 1,433, total profit of 19,831. So he took the V1 there. He also took the V1 right here for another profit. So Mauricio here made 1,290. 1,170, and then another one right here. Pretty much straight wins, 3 straight back-to-back wins for NASDAQ 100. Total profit of 19,831. So great work right there, Mauricio. You're killing it. Same with Patrick over here. Let's see, Patrick over here locked in a total profit of 1,469. Looks like you had a bit of a loss right there. It's all good. It happens. But you recovered right after. That's the key thing. The key thing here, guys, is not to worry about the losses, but your recovery, right? So Patrick here, unfortunately, he did take a loss, but he came right back with these 4 back-to-back wins. So solid work right there, Patrick. And you guys been doing pretty good. So let me clean this up a little bit right here. Maybe if I see a good entry here on NASDAQ, maybe I'll hop in with you guys, but I don't see anything right now. It is 7:51 right now, so it's getting really close to 8. So I think my cutoff for any possible entries would be around 7:55 next 4 minutes. US30 here is not really a good asset to trade right now. I probably would just sit out for the US30. Going back to gold, it's like gold kind of swung up a little bit. This might be setting up for another entry. Yeah, looks like it'd be setting up for another one. I think if this one sets up, then yeah, I'll probably just, it'll drop and hit TP. Yeah, you're right. This is set up for another one. This is kind of what I was looking for. I was mentioning that this might kind of bounce around a bit, and then it'll set up for another entry within it. Typically, when it's back to back like that, I usually see it hitting. Eventually, it's just be a matter of time. And I didn't set up my copier. I should have set up my copier to take gold trades because I don't think they use the same asset. I should probably do that right now. So I'm going to configure my copier to copy both. For the MFFs, I have to map the symbols for both NASDAQ and for US 100. Yeah, I think MFF uses the they use NASDAQ NAS 100. Well, gold is the same thing. It's just NASDAQ's different. NAS 100. Solid. Just mapping my symbols for my copier. All right. So I don't see anything here for me to take, guys. It's getting close to 8 o'clock, so I think this might be it for me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping this up for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Just keep in mind that I might take a while to respond, guys. Unfortunately, I did get COVID this weekend, so I have COVID right now. So I'm a bit sick. So I'll probably be away from my computer, but I'll try to get to you guys as soon as possible. I will get to you guys eventually. It's just not going to be like immediately sometimes. As I try to get better by the end of this week, hopefully it goes away soon. It's just annoying. It's just, I don't really feel sick. It's just a normal cold. John said, did you get antiviral for your COVID? No, I don't know. What's that? Antiviral. Check. It's an antiviral drug. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Antiviral therapy. Oh, it's like a medicine. Interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll take a look at that. Thanks, Sean, for the heads up, and thanks, Shannon, too. Yeah, I've just been taking vitamins. I haven't really been taking medicine. I don't really feel very sick. I'm just taking like basically pressed juices and stuff. It just feels like a normal cold, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah, I'll definitely take some. I'll look into that, John. Thanks for the heads up. I think there's one more question here before I get off. So John's asking, hi there. I got more of a philosophical question if it's not a burden for you. Yeah, no, it's fine, John. John's asking, I should look at scalping at the beginning. Should I back test as much as possible and be always taking risky trades without a strong bias just to get my mind ready for the real game? Or is your strategy only to practice high quality trades, looking at the charts, but only taking what really fits every requirement? So yeah, John, well, the way I'd recommend you trade and learn how to trade is to only look for high quality trades. You don't want to take every single trade because that's just going to build bad habits within you, right? If you take every single trade, you're just going to keep doing that in the future. If you focus on just taking quality trades now, when you do get to, as you consider the real game, a funded account or a live account, you'll be okay with just repeating like the good habits that you already built when you were practicing. So for me, I would always recommend that you look for high quality trades and understand how to follow directions, because you'll see that once you start winning a lot of trades by taking riskier trades, you're going to develop bad habits where you are going to be taking a lot of trades versus the good trades. Because the thing is, if you take so many trades and you're trading a scalping strategy that has a negative risk to reward, you have to have a lot of wins to come back from a loss, right? If you're looking for quality trades like how we do, you're only taking maybe one or two trades a day, but you rarely lose, if ever. Like for me, I don't really lose very many trades because I only look for one or two good trades a day. And a lot of those good trades are, they come up very often. So it's really just identifying those perfect entries, meaning all requirements are met, and you should be fine. So, yeah, just like what Mauricio said, practice as you play. The thing is, even though you practice and you're looking for high quality trades, you're still going to make mistakes and you're going to take risky trades. So the main key is taking quality trades and learning from your mistakes, because you're not going to be perfect from the day one. I mean, you'll see once you start taking trades, your trade psychology is going to be probably one of your biggest enemy, because you're gonna fall into trades, you're gonna overtrade, you're gonna revenge trade. You'll see, like, once you actually start taking a lot of trades, that it's not going to be as easy as it sounds to take quality trades. So you should just focus on stuff that meets all the requirements. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. So I think that's it for the questions right now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, I will be back here tomorrow morning, same time, same place, as we take on the inflation news. So just keep in mind, tomorrow's going to be a crazy day, but I think it's going to be crazy in a good way, where we're going to have a lot more volatility and price is actually going to be pushing in a direction. So tomorrow we have news at 5:30. We'll be going live around 6:30, an hour after. So what I'm hoping here is that we get a manipulated push, right? So I'm hoping this will happen. So let me just show you guys tomorrow, or I can't show you here, but we'll say, for example, like this is tomorrow, right? This is like when news happens. I'm hoping price actually goes opposite, because I do expect it to be bad news. So I hope price pushes opposite, so that when we go live in the morning, it'll be easy to just catch sells in the correction back to where news price was. So kind of similar to what happened last week and the week before that. I'll mark up news before we start the market, and then from there we can gauge, which direction we should be trading. But I do think we'll be looking for a sell. So other than that, guys, if you guys don't have to trade today, as you guys can see, the market's pretty choppy. It's not clear at all. So I'd probably just sit out the rest of the market for today and just save your capital for tomorrow. So tomorrow's gonna be a bit crazy, but I think it'll be crazy in a positive way. So if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow as we pick back up and continue on with the week. So have a great rest.